All right, hello and welcome to Film Bite. This summer I'm doing a lot of traveling with Gabrielle and decided to do some film reviews on the road based off of things that, there's like a whole thing you can do around when you're on flights, catching up on movies that you've missed, and while we're taking flights, we're watching movies and going to do some reviews remotely from different places. And today, we are in a place special. Actually, it's kind of a special day. It's Gabrielle's and my anniversary, and we're standing on the Charles Bridge here in Prague. Been here a couple times over the past couple days, and it is just wonderful. There's the historic Prague Castle in the background, the Charles Bridge going back to the 14th century, a bridge named after Charles IV, sort of, well, not sort of, but he's very much one of the influential historical figures here in Prague and in Europe. Not only ruled over Bohemia here, but the leader of the Holy Roman Empire as well. And in the 14th century, this bridge was built. It's a pedestrian bridge. We're here when it's relatively early, so there's not a ton of people here right now. It goes both directions with a nice watchtower in the background. And we're standing over the Vltava River, and also known as the Moldau in German. And it's fitting that we're standing over the river because on the way here, got to actually catch up on watching Aquaman, and I gotta say, for all of the attention it got, it was actually quite underwhelming. It was rather poorly written dialogue, a lot of really not wonderful acting performances, with a few standout moments here and there from some of the more experienced actors. It's directed by James Wan, who you might know from sort of his horror related stuff related to The Conjuring and things as well, and he's helmed this really big budget superhero flick, and while at times it has certain things going for it, the action sequences are at times quite well choreographed, even if they do rely a little bit heavily on CGI. But the story itself is just really rough. It jumps around all over the place trying to link up these story elements to keep the sort of epic rolling, and probably last a little longer than it should, given the sort of strung together plot elements. The stakes for the characters don't seem particularly high. There's not really a lot that you have to worry about here and there. It definitely seems like it's a movie that's meant to be maybe more enjoyed than sort of like thought about, or that will deeply and emotionally involve you. Jason Momoa, what's his name? Jason Momoa. Wow, that was Jason Momoa. Does a decent job as Aquaman. Amber Heard's a little rough around the edges as his Atlantean counterpart. But by the end of it, the final action sequence is pretty awesome to watch. And while a lot of the movie does lack sort of a visual sort of sense of wonder and spectacle, a lot of the times it seems kind of just going through the hoops to take care of its superhero things. The final set of sequences turn out to be quite spectacular at times. In particular, when Aquaman arrives at the trench is a rather visually interesting sequence for sure. But by the end, everything kind of wraps up a little too nicely, with the exception of sort of the one character and kind of, I don't know, a little. We can't analyze for a second. Really, the only black character in the film turns out to be sort of the only character not reconciled kind of to this group of other characters, which sticks a little funny in my mind for sure. It was okay. I was bored at times. It definitely strung out longer than it needed to, with clunky dialogue and acting. But if you're trying to keep up with DC superhero and comic book films, you probably should watch it. It's now actually it beat out, I believe, The Dark Knight in terms of top grossing DC film, which is a little, yeah, Gabriella had a shocked face on that. It's a little shocking to me because the quality of the film is nowhere near as good. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 bites, I think, for this one. Not particularly great. If you want to keep up with the DC universe of things, you might as well watch it, but I wouldn't expect all that much. If you do get a chance, come to Prague. It's a nice, wonderful walking city. Get up early to come see some of the beautiful stuff where there's not boatloads of people here. Come during the week as well. You can enjoy the beautiful river running through, the city of 100 spires, lots of beautiful old buildings and houses dating back I mean, the early foundations of these buildings go back there to the sort of like Romanesque and Gothic period too, and it really is quite a wonderful and amazing city. And a nice city to be on in our anniversary. A little more about the history of Prague related to film, though, a little later. Deep history of film here in the Czech Republic and Prague in particular. For now, this is Mark Walter for Film Bite, and remember, every movie I review is worth watching. Taste takes training, so train yours. And I'll see you next time on Film Bite.